Algorithmic trading often hits two distinct walls. The first is a robot that has no memory of its own entry conditions once a trade begins. The second is the repetitive labor required to manually adjust code to test a different setup. In a fast-moving market, static rules are a liability. When your strategy is built on hard-coded numbers, your execution levels stay fixed. If volatility spikes, the price action overruns your rigid logic because the system can't adapt to the specific conditions that triggered the trade. AutoAlgo addresses these limitations through user variables. This feature provides a dynamic memory bank for active positions and enables high-speed bulk testing for strategy optimization. Transitioning from fixed numbers to flexible variables converts a basic rule set into a responsive trading engine that scales with your ideas. Inside the rule set interface, the panel on the right side houses every variable you create for your strategy. We divide these into two categories. First are parameters. These function as external settings you adjust during testing. For instance, we use end days to define a look-back window and stop percent to manage our risk. Second are standard variables, which act as internal memory slots. Unlike parameters, these are populated dynamically by the system. Our position entry bar low variable records a price point the moment a trade opens, then stores it so your exit rules can reference it later. The distinction is practical. You define parameters before a test begins, but standard variables are filled by the live market during an active trade. To set up a parameter, you select the number type, name it end days, and provide a starting default value, in this example, 30. For this value to be available for concurrent backtesting, you must enable the isParameter checkbox. Setting up a standard internal memory variable is different. We'll create one named Position Entry Bar Low to capture our entry price. On this screen, we leave the default value blank and keep the parameter toggle disabled. We leave these blank because we want the strategy to pull the real-time low price directly from the chart once the position is opened, rather than relying on a preset number. Standard variables require a linear logic. You must record a value with an action before any subsequent condition can use it. Under the MISC menu, select the Set Variable function. This action triggers the moment a long position is initiated. Next, select Position Entry Bar Low as the target and set the value to read the current bar's low price. Every time this rule executes, it snaps a record of that specific price data, overriding the variable so that the most recent entry information is ready for use. Now we can apply that memory. In our stop-loss rule, we add a condition that compares the current price to our stored variable. This forces the system to calculate an exit based on the specific price we captured at entry. This manages individual trade logic. Now we can move to the backtesting suite to see how the parameters we created can scale our research. To test multiple look-back periods, set the end days parameter iteration to incremental. Enter a start of 20, end of 60, and increment of 10. The system calculates the full array to test all values in a single run. By pairing dynamic internal memory with concurrent parameter testing, one logic sequence now performs the same work as dozens of separately coded strategies. You've now reduced hours of manual testing and built a level of logical precision that isn't possible with static inputs. Open your rule set in AutoAlgo, identify a rigid condition, and try replacing it with a dynamically recorded variable. Utilizing these variables and parameters is the primary shift from basic automation to a sophisticated, responsive algorithmic system.